In this video, we'll be hunting a box of nickels. We'll be looking for anything older than 1960, including Civil War nickels, Buffalo nickels, or anything older. We'll also be looking for any foreigns, proofs, errors, or varieties, or any other cool things we can find. If this box doesn't have enough finds, I will add a second box onto this video, depending on how this box does. Have looked for enders. I don't see any obvious enders, although I do see some older nickels like there and a few other ones in the box, so hopefully that's a good sign. Anyways, let's start the hunt on this box of nickels, and I'll bring you in on the first find. Roll 1, and the box is starting off with a couple of finds, which is definitely a good sign. They are both from the 50s. We have a 1952 from San Francisco, as well as a pretty nice 1959 out of Denver. Roll 6, and we have our first find from the 40s, and it is 1949 from Philly. Roll number 9 gave us the two oldest finds of the hunt so far. One of them's pretty good. It's a 1938 first-year Jefferson. I did see it reverse first. It's just a Philadelphia, but I do not get 1938 nickels very often. It's definitely very cool to see for sure. And also the roll also had 1940 out of Philly, but definitely excited about that first-year Jefferson for sure. Just opened the next roll right after that 1938, and I think we could have a silver nickel in this roll. That dark colored one right there, definitely looking silver. Let's see if it is. And it is going to be a silver nickel. We have an estimate mark above the Monticello on the back. 1945S, 35% silver war nickel, only in roll number 10. Definitely off to an amazing start to the box. Let's hope we get some more finds. Next roll, we have another find from the 40s. This box is definitely very hot near the start. This one's going to be 1946 out of Denver. Roll 15 had 3 finds in the roll, one from the 40s and 2 from the 50s. The 40s is a 1941 from San Francisco, and the 50s are both 1955 Denvers. This one's actually in pretty good shape. The other one's a 55 Denver as well. Roll 17, we have a couple more 50s finds. This time we have 1956 Denver and 1959, that's also a Denver. Next roll, this time we have a nickel from the 40s. It's a pretty worn 1940 from Philly. Roll 23, we have another find from the 40s. This time we have another 1949 out of Philly. Roll 25, halfway point of the box, gave us a few more finds. We have another nickel from the 40s, 1941 from Philly, as well as a couple from the 50s. This one looks like it was in the ground for 50 years or something, but I think it's a 1953. It's out of Denver, it looks like. And also 1957, it's also from Denver. Just open the next roll. We're going to have the first foreign of the hunt. It looks like we're going to have a Canadian nickel right there. Looks like it is. It's going to be 1968, which means this is a pure nickel Canadian nickel. Don't find those too often. Definitely cool to see. Roll 27. We have a couple more finds. This box is definitely pretty hot. We have a lot of finds. We have one from the 40s, a 1940 from Denver, and another 1959 Denver as well. Just opened roll 29. Looks like we're going to have another foreign. And I do want to say this roll right here, which is going to be roll 38. You can see this kind of something right there. It looks like it doesn't fit in the roll. I can feel it. It's kind of bigger than the other coins. Might be a foreign or a token or just a damaged coin. We'll see when we get to that roll though. Anyways, I brought you in because I just opened this roll. One away from being an ender. We have the second Canadian nickel of the box, which is a 1983. Roll 31, we have a couple more finds from the 50s. This time we're going to have 1952 from Denver and 1954 out of Philly. Roll 35, we have 2 more finds from the 50s. This time we have 1953 from San Francisco and a pretty worn 1957 Denver. Next roll, and we have our second 30s nickel of the box. First one's a 1938. This one is just a common 1939 out of Philly. Not the DDR, but great to see another find from the 30s for sure. Roll 37 had another find from the 40s. And this one was another 1949 from Philly. Next up was that roll with the slightly larger coin inside, so we're going to open that live next. Got roll 38 out of the box. Again, has this kind of different thing. I'm feeling like a weird edge. I'm thinking it might be a foreign. Really excited to see what it is. I'm hoping it's something I've never seen before. Let's open the roll, find out what it's going to be. Let's see here. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a foreign coin. Definitely not a US coin for sure. Let's see what it's going to be if I can get it out. And it's going to be a 2004 50 centavos from Mexico. I recognize the Mexico City Mint there. Have seen this coin before, but never found in coin or hunting for sure. It's definitely a unique find, although not worth a ton. Definitely cool to see. Never found one of those before. Same roll as that Mexican 50 centavos. We have another find from the 40s, this time 1948, minted in Denver. Next roll, we have another find from the 40s. This box definitely has had a ton of finds. This time we have another 1940, this time from San Francisco. Next roll again, and this roll actually had 3 finds, and they're all from the same year. We got 3 1941s. One's a Philly, one's a Denver, and the other one is a San Francisco. We got a 41 PD&S set in the same roll. Don't think I've ever had that happen before. Roll 43, we have a couple more finds from the 50s this time. We have a 1956 from Philly and 1958 out of Denver. Just opened roll 44, and I just flattened out the roll. In the back right there, I see a really worn looking edge. It could be a V-nickel. If it is, that's my second ever V-nickel I've ever gotten from a roll. I'm really excited. Let's see. Oh my god, it's a V-nickel. My second ever V-nickel I've ever gotten, and it is super worn. Wow, I've never even seen one this worn before. Definitely not going to get a date. Might have to nicodate it. Yeah, there's nothing left on this coin at all. The reverse is completely flat, no detail at all. Just see slightly, just the outline of the head on the obverse with no date. Might decide to nicodate this before the wrap-up. I'm going to keep it how it is for now. At the wrap-up, I'll probably nicodate it, but for now, second ever V-nickel found. Although it's really worn, dateless, still super exciting to find. Roll 45, second to last coin in the roll. We have a chance at a key date here with the 1939. It's actually in pretty good shape. Do have a 38 and a 39 already. Both of them were just the common Phillies. Hopefully this one has a mint mark to be a key date. And it doesn't. It's just another 1939 Philly. Doesn't look like it's the DDR, but it's a third 30s nickel of the box. Not the oldest of the hunt, of course, but still cool to find. Last roll, and this has been a pretty epic box overall, and I just got another find that made it even more awesome. I mean, just look at all the finds on the board. Full board right there, 40s and 50s and 30s. That's normally for 2 boxes, maybe even more, and this is all just from 1 box. And I just uncovered this. It has a San Francisco mint mark, and I already turned it around. It's a 1938S, which is going to be a key date nickel. First key date for the box. We have already gotten a 38 Philly and a couple of 39 Phillies, but this one's a 38S key date. Key date, V-nickel, silver. This has just been an absolutely incredible box. We'll hunt the rest of this roll. If there's no more finds, we'll go on to the wrap-up. Nickel box has been hunted. Let's go over the finds. Ended up with 3 foreigns, 2 of which were Canadian, including one that's 1968, a pure nickel Canadian, which I don't get very many of. And the third foreign was a 2004 Mexican 50 centavos. Never got one of these in a roll before. You can see that it's definitely a lot bigger than a nickel. Not sure how it got in there, but I'll definitely take it for sure. Also got one 2009 in pretty decent shape. Now go on to the older Jeffersons. We got a ton of older Jeffersons for 1 box. For 1 box, this is just an absolutely insane amount of older Jeffersons. Mostly just common dates. We do have a couple of nicer ones in the later 50s, like that 59 Denver and that 55 Denver. And we also did get a key date as well, right in that last roll. 1938 out of San Francisco. Pretty worn, but Either way, it's a key date nickel. Don't find key dates very often at all. Super cool find there. Now the two finds of the box, we'll save the best for last. We did get a silver nickel in 1945 from San Francisco. 35% silver nickel. You usually get about one every 1 or 2 boxes. Definitely a good box whenever you can get some silver. Now we'll move on to the V nickel, which I did get a date off of. I had to use Nicodate twice on it. It's super worn. You can barely even see it, but I did put it under the scope to confirm. You can kind of see the end of the last digit there, but I did confirm under the scope. It is an 1893 V nickel. Oldest nickel I've ever found. The other V nickel I found was a 1906. First one from the 1800s. Not my oldest coin ever found. I have found an Indian head cent that is older, but either way, a coin from the 1800s, you don't find those very often at all. An 1893 V nickel, even though it is extremely worn, the reverse is completely gone. Still an absolutely amazing find in the box. My second ever V nickel is in 1800s. Still super insane, even though it's worn out. And so many unique finds in this hunt. This was my best nickel box in a really long time. Super exciting hunt for sure.